Perth pumped for a big one tonight. 4 changes they've got from the side who beat Adelaide during the week. Jonathan Aspro comes back into the centre of defence with Josh Rawlins out of a reshuffled backline. Aussie Malik replaces Luke Bodnar in the holding midfield spot. And there's 2 changes on the attacking front with Andy Keogh, who scored 4 goals in his last appearance, including that worldie last week against the Wanderers. And Diego Castro is also back. That means Kieran Bramwell and Daniel Stynes miss out. Just the 2 changes from Ante Milicic and Macarthur. Benyart is out with a calf issue, along with Jake McGing, who's out of the side. Frenchman Loic Puyo and Moody Najar come into the starting 11. And midweek signing Kyle Cementi is on the bench for Macarthur. He's scored 7 goals in 10 matches for Rockdale in the NPL New South Wales this season. Looking forward to seeing him in the A-League. Well, the speculation is rife. It's Perth's final home match of the season. Tonight, will it also be the final bout for Diego Castro in the West? He's the 2nd highest goal scorer for Perth in the A-League with 48, just 2 away from a half-century. And Alex Schuschnir is back home. He grew up in Perth and played his youth football with glory. He also spent some time with Perth SC in the NPL back in 2015. Ben Abraham, the referee tonight in his 20th A-League match. So the wait is over, and the race for the finals and June continues in the A-League. Can Perth make it 5 straight wins, or Macarthur 3 and take another step closer to a finals appearance in their inaugural season? That's what's on the line tonight at HBF Park in the West. Great to have Mark Bosnich along for the call. Good evening, Bozza.
Good evening to you, Ben, and good evening to all our viewers watching here. Another crucial game here in the A-League. Arguably the most crucial of the whole weekend, which has been an absolutely fabulous weekend of football, as we know. Both teams here, Perth Glory really, in my opinion, have to win this game. There's no doubt about that. Macarthur sitting pretty, you have to say, on 35 points, but they'll be wanting to get the whole 3 points as well, and better their goal difference, they can go above Adelaide. But absolutely crucial games coming thick and fast, and lovely weather for football, you have to say, in Perth. There's been a lot of showers, but 14 degrees Celsius is superb football weather.
A little bit of rain isn't too bad, just wets the pitch. Ball moves around nicely, and we can see that right here, right now, with Andy Keogh back into the starting side as he whips it across, and the flag is up for offside.
Yeah, frustration there from the players. Linesman doing exactly, or assistant referee, if you want to call him, what he's been told to do. If he's not sure, he keeps the flag down. There's no doubt about that. Doesn't make it any more or less frustrating for the fans and players.
Well, let's check in and find out what conditions are like with Jamie Harnwell, who's down pitch side for us tonight. Good evening, Jamie.
Yeah, good evening, guys. It's look, you say it's a great night for football. Not so good for the spectators. It's certainly not typical Perth weather over here tonight. A lot of rain in the past 24 hours.
As Andy Keogh here played in on goal, and Perth with the perfect start. Andy Keogh with another goal, but the flag is up to deny him. It would have been 5 in his last 2.
Well, the assistant referee's done exactly the right thing. He's let it go until he thinks it's offside, and now there'll be a VAR check.
So we'll have a look. That's a difficult angle, but I'm sure the VAR will get the lines out. He thought he had another one. He didn't have any until the last match he played against Wanderers. That was last week. Banged in 4. He almost had another one. Or does he?
When you're hot, you're hot. Whether it's a goal or not, one thing he does fantastically well, all youngsters watching this, or any age, to see how he moves the ball, changes the angle, makes it so difficult for the goalkeeper.
Well, a goal for Keogh would bring up 60 for him in the A-League. It's tight, isn't it?
Yeah, it's tight, but remember, it's the tip of the shoulder. It's one thing that IFAB need to take a look at in the future, whether they make it. And Ben Abraham has confirmed it is offside. So there you go. Yeah, IFAB, in my opinion, need to look at it either to make it just the feet, or maybe feet and knees, because when you're taught to sprint, you're taught to lean from your ankles. So invariably, you're going to be a little bit leaning further forward. Your feet could actually be behind the defender. So I think that needs to be looked at, and they'll know that. But it's a wake-up call for Macarthur, no doubt about that.
Yep, 100%, and the ball's in possession now. And it always happens. We go down to the sideline and something dramatic happens. So here come the balls through Najar. I think Gary is shielding the ball well. Will be a throw there for the Bulls.
Well done from Gary, but good to see Mooney in the jar starting again.
Shushnia finds Jean Rowe. It's already a strong midfield the Bulls have, strengthened further next season by Ulysses Davila. Will he be on the way? It's Derbyshire. Flick it on towards Najar. Mombois. And pinched back by Perth. Let's go back down to the sideline with Jamie.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, it's a little bit windy down here as well, as Keogh did race away. Already a lot of energy from the crowd here tonight. The last home games, you said, for Perth Glory before a tough away trip. Well, a couple of tough away games as well. And Perth Glory certainly trying to make the most of it early on.
Yeah, thanks, Jamie. As the ball across the line off Mark Milligan. Yeah, so what a midfield the Bulls could boast next year, as I said, with Ulysses Davila. And what a midfield Perth have with that man Casto. Is it his final match at home tonight? As the ball bent across. Milligan with the diving header. Shushayeta stepped away from Otter. Finds the Bulls' leading goal scorer, Matt Derbyshire.
From a tactical perspective, Macarthur tonight playing with a 4 at the back. Liam Rose at right back, James Meredith left, and Milligan and Shushnia in the centre. Nominally 3 across the midfield, and Puyol, Jean Rowe, and Mwamba in the jar left, Derbyshire in the centre, and Susayeta on the right. But they'll be adaptable. Perth Glory as well, 4 at the back. Timmins and Malik, the 2 pivots in midfield for them. But most importantly, right in front of them, that man Diego Castro, Economides, Fornaroli, and Keogh, formidable strike force.
Federici finding Derbyshire. Free kick goes the Bulls' way. They've got a good record away from home this season, Macarthur. Just have a look at that foul from Aspro on Derbyshire. Abraham right on the spot.
Yep. One of those reasons that Macarthur is so hard to beat away from home is because at home teams just sit off them, and it's obviously much more difficult with their passing game. What they have when teams come onto them, that's as they do away from home, it just suits their style so much better.
Yeah, they were first heading into the round, as there's a poor pass, or I should say poor control from Geria. Just asking for some pressure now. Yeah, they were the best away side in the league before Brisbane's win in Newcastle on Friday. 19 points accrued from 11 matches, 6 wins, 1 draw and 4 losses. But incredibly, a negative goal difference. It's the thing that is a bit strange about all that. It's the way it pans out sometimes. There's Andy Keogh again, causing some real problems for the Macarthur defence. Finds Castro. And 4 Bulls around him there to ensure he couldn't get the strike on goal. Appeals for handball. The decision from Ben Abraham is a free kick for Macarthur. On the flip side of things, Perth, just the 3 defeats in the West this season from 12 matches, 7 wins. This is their 8th home match in a row. It's incredible how it all panned out, of course, with postponed fixtures due to the pandemic, and they have racked up the wins. 4 straight, looking to make it 5 and cutting the gap to the top 6 tonight. Shushnir back home in Perth, where he grew up.
I really think Perth should consider, after what we've seen this season, perhaps playing 2 or even 3 games on the trot away. So they've got the 2 or 3 games there at home as well. It would be better for everyone.
Less travel back and forth. There's Nijar. Mombwa angling that pass wide. Rose, good delivery. Shushayeta was just behind him, couldn't get the power behind the strike, and Economides can only get it as far as Puyo. Meredith, former glory man, with the overlapping run. He's hanging it up to the back post. Almost 10 minutes gone, and it's been a great start to this one. So that's what it means tonight. That's a point each as it stands currently. So Macarthur on 36. Perth desperate for 3, which would take them level on points with Brisbane, despite Brisbane having the 1 match in hand. But as we know, you'd prefer to have the points in the bank.
100%, and Brisbane have got Melbourne City, recently crowned champions of the season on Tuesday. Obviously 2 ways of looking at that. A lot of people will think, okay, Melbourne City will, and rightfully so, have been celebrating, but they can sometimes take the sting out of it. There's a big chance that was.
Derbyshire making that run. And now Nijar curling it across just behind Shushayeta as he feeds Puyo. Such a decisive pass in behind Perth Glory's back line. So the 3rd meeting between these two. They did meet in Perth back in round 19. It was a 0-0 draw as Meredith stopped in his tracks by Cal Timmins. Jean Rowe.
All the possession thus far from Macarthur.
So here's confirmation of that offside against Andy Keogh. It was tight, but as you said, Bozza, the shoulder there is what has caused the flag to go up, and his 5th goal in not even 1.5 matches ruled out. He's up to 59 now in Glory colours. Their leading goal scorer in the A-League era. Latchman cutting that pass out. Could be joined again in the back line by Sebastian Langkamp. He's not far away from a return as that ball bent out wide for Economides. Feeding Keogh, who goes down. It's a penalty for Perth Glory. It did look somewhat soft, but the question is, was there contact? It seemed to be.
Just looked as though Keogh played for it completely. Ben Abraham was quite certain about it, but after watching that, I'm not. Just played for it completely.
Well, you would think that can be overturned by VAR.
I think it can be completely. Look, it's pretty much just shoulder to shoulder. Keogh makes an absolute meal of it.
And the heavens have opened again. Garcia. Just trying to tune in there to see what he was having a chat to about to Daryl Latchman.
Obviously, it's been upheld. It looks like they're going to go straight through with it. Ben Abraham's best view on the pitch, there's no doubt about that, and he was convinced.
So Diego Castro in what could be his final match in Perth, scores from the spot. And if this is the end for Diego in Perth, it's the way he deserves to go out as a goal scorer. And it's a huge goal for Glory.
Massive goal. Controversial penalty in my opinion, but it's been given. To be fair, didn't seem too many complaints from the Macarthur players. And superbly dispatched into the corner from Castro. Perth mean business. They know how important this game is for their top 6 hopes.
Just one away from a half century in the purple of Perth, Diego Castro. And there's some great names on that list, including Jamie Harnwell. Let's check in with Jamie. What does that mean to the home fans?
Well, it's a huge, as they're scampering for cover, the rain's just really starting to come down. But you can just hear the noise just lift as that went in. Again, if that is Diego Castro's last game here at HBF Park, the fans certainly don't want that to be. But what a great way to be signing off and putting Glory ahead in such a crucial game for them as well.
Massive moment, just a quarter of an hour into the match. Not even that, and Perth ahead. Perth haven't won against Macarthur. It was a 2-0 win for the Bulls back in round 15, and then, as I mentioned, a 0-0 draw in that day game at HBF Park back in round 19. Matt Derbyshire with the 2 goals at Campbelltown. There's Otter bending across straight into the arms of Federici. Could do nothing about that penalty from Castro, the man with the second most clean sheets in the league this year.
It's been outstanding for him, but he was frustrated. When I see a goalkeeper so frustrated like that after a penalty, it usually tells me the story that they'd planned to go to that side and change their mind. Because, you know, penalties, you know, you've got nothing to lose whatsoever. So normally if it goes in, it goes in. But when goalkeepers get upset, they usually have had that in their mind that they were going to go that side and change their mind. But here comes Macarthur again.
Shushayeta knocking it in front of Mombois. Good toe in there from Malik. And it is teeming down now.
Is Jamie on the sideline?
Hope you've got an umbrella, Jamie.
I'm undercover, guys. Don't worry. I'm utilising the old dugouts here. Not particularly well built, so we'll see how long they last. But right behind the Macarthur bench, they're all huddling together, trying to stay warm as well.
Plenty of elevation on this ball across, and spilled by Reddy. Ben Abraham saying everything was sweet. Corner for the Bulls.
Well, be interesting to see that on replay, because after giving that penalty, well, that's got to be a foul. Okay, he got pushed into him, but he's just taken Reddy out completely.
So the corner floated in. Dealt with well by Perth. Shushayeta. You can see the Bulls, as Bozza was saying earlier, dominating possession. And passes completed, but the scoreline tells a different story. It's all about putting the ball in the back of that net.
Play from Macarthur though, leading the press.
John Rowe. It's Milligan lobbing it to Mombois. Getting onto the right and then unleashing across goal. It was well taken by Reddy. Difficult conditions, as we know, in the wet. And he took it comfortably.
He made it look easier than it was. But Mwamba is causing some problems. He's not a natural number 10, but his mobility, especially in these conditions, are really causing problems for Perth.
6 consecutive starts now for Charles Momboa. Ante Milicic obviously loving what he's seeing from the 23-year-old who does qualify for the Olyroos. Gee, there's so many players to pick from. That's a poor ball. Can Macarthur make something happen here? Shushayeta scuffed his shot and Aspro got it away, but it's another corner for Macarthur.
Aspro does well, but Macarthur closed down really well as well. And you're seeing the benefits of having so much possession. And when you lose it, you immediately put the foot on the accelerator to get it right back. And a lot of times, not all the times, a lot of times the team you're playing against, they're sort of a little bit tired from running around and chasing you, and invariably make a mistake.
So Jean Rowe and Castro away. Picked off by Puyol. Liam Rose finding the Frenchman. Derbyshire knocking it to his captain, who is knocked to the floor by Timmins. Shed making plenty of noise on a wet night in the west, and they'll be pretty happy with how things are at the moment. Diego Castro with the goal from the spot, but now they've got to do some defensive work. So it is going to be Puyol, and Reddy has to knock it up and over the bar.
The ball being like soap with all that rain. Takes no chances whatsoever. Strike in the end, but no chances whatsoever from Liam Reddy. Understandably so.
So it's Jean Rowe, set piece duty once again, and it's Keogh's header to Malik. Only as far as Denny Jean Rowe. Trying to curl it in on his left on that occasion. Stopped by Fornaroli. Shushayeta trying to hover one across. Castro wins a free kick. That's a smart win there from the Spaniard.
Very much so, and his team needs to regroup here. Although they're leading 1-0, they're being absolutely dominated. But he done well there, Castro, showed his experience.
Castro just flicking it up to Timmins, and now Economides knocking it inboard to Timmins. Castro, has he won another free kick? He has. That's what he can do.
Not so sure about that one, nor the Macarthur players. No, that's a foul.
Lightning feet, and that man has Diego Castro and Adam Federici. Got to marshal his defence here.
Great position.
Castro's free kick, not one of his best. He can recalibrate and go again here, Perth. Through Otta. Sliding it wide to Economides, just switch to the other side for the moment. Good link up with Keogh. Mid-flight by Rose. Economides now hanging it up. No one there beyond the back post for Perth. Castro collecting possession. How about that from Castro? Keogh dinking it over the top. Magical stuff from Glory at the moment. Led by the chief magician, Diego Castro.
Real sign of a confident side. Done most of the chasing, haven't had any of the ball. Been dominated, and then they come back like this. And Andy Keogh He's in such a confident mood. You understand that after scoring 4 goals. Some of his link-up play and footballing intelligence is absolutely great to watch. Diego Castro, say no more.
So what does a goal mean for the ladder? Well, that's what it means. Perth are level with Brisbane. And Bozza was saying earlier that gap in goal difference is the issue probably for Perth at the moment. But they've got themselves level with Brisbane, albeit the Raw having a game in hand, but one of those against Melbourne City.
Wellington and Western Sydney Wanderers play each other on Wednesday night. Bank West.
Isn't that a finals match come early?
Well, all of them, you have to say. I like finals games. There's no doubt about that. Following night's Macarthur Central Coast Mariners. Tuesday night, Brisbane versus Melbourne City. What a week it is in football. We've got the both European finals. Manchester United.
What about in France tomorrow morning?
France as well.
How big's that going to be?
Manchester United obviously play Villarreal Thursday morning here.
Can Lille win the title? Gee.
Yes, they can.
That would be massive.
Any Manchester United fans in Sydney are watching it. It'll be on at 5 a.m. at Scruffy Murphy's. So get yourself down there.
Yeah, what 24 hours we've got in football across the world. Spotter with the block, but it's going to be a free kick for a handball.
And the big one on Sunday morning. Manchester City, Chelsea. Plus the weekend of A-Leagues is coming from everywhere.
Are you going to be able to sleep?
No.
So Ante Milicic thinking how he can get his side back into this one, looking to qualify Macarthur for the finals in their inaugural season. Geria, helped on by Timmins. Great touch from Derbyshire, wasn't it, around the corner? But Geria able to read the situation well and find his keeper, Liam Reddy. Most clean sheets in the history of the A-League. Liam Reddy, 87 in total. Meredith pulling it up the line. Rich Garcia, Perth Glory's head coach, knows they're in the middle of a real purple patch of form, 4 straight wins. And at the moment they are looking decent to make it 5 in a row. He's also targeting his 10th win as an A-League head coach. This is bouncing awkwardly for Aspro, especially against the height of Matt Derbyshire. Mombois. And Jason Geria shooting it across the line. Did he collect Mombois? Well, got to ask the question, because the first, I should say the penalty was soft-ish. Is there enough in this, Bozza?
Yes, there is.
Certainly.
Yes, there is. Especially after that first penalty.
You could probably say there's more in that than in the first one. Is that fair?
Well, I would say it is, yes. I think he would claim he just touched the ball, but I'm certain VAR are going to take a look at this. He's waved it away. But boy, hearts in the mouth time for Perth supporters.
Another corner for Jean Rowe. They're really piling up from that left side for Macarthur.
I think the thing that would have saved Geria there, even though it doesn't make a difference on what people think it make a difference, you still do a foul, even if you get the ball. Doesn't matter if you do a really bad foul, but it mitigates the case if you do. And I think he did get a touch, a slight touch to the ball. He did, that's why I had the corner. But I tell you what, wow.
Now, could be an issue here for Mombwa. This is the man in question, Jason Guerrier. It was in regards to the potential penalty for Macarthur, but it's Mombwa who is struggling potentially after that tackle from Guerrier.
I think he's actually saying that. Let's have a look again. Yes, he got the ball just.
And his leg was jammed in there between the two legs of...
See the ball here? It just mitigates a little bit. But, oh,
just
gosh,
gets caught
I'll tell
there.
you what. Well, so far as I'm concerned, if you give that one that you give to Andy Keogh, you've got to give that one too.
Yeah, if that's the yardstick, 100%. Yeah.
Well, as I keep saying to everybody, it's very difficult to get consistency across the board. You aim for it, but there's referees that are a little bit stricter and ones that are not so strict. You just aim for that gap not to be. But what you can hope for is consistency from the same referee.
In the same game as well.
Of course, in the same game, 100% the same game, yeah. But
and Macarthur fans can feel rightly aggrieved about that.
100%. I think you heard it was Richie Garcia on the bench saying it was like, I don't know, saying it was basically it was outside the box, i.e. that he'd run over it, like, you know. But in terms of Richie Garcia, you've got to say, considering they went away for the Champions League and all the interruptions with lockdowns and not being able to travel, what a good job he's done. An excellent job. And it mustn't have been easy.
Yeah, a real challenge for Richard Garcia in his first year as Perth Glory head coach. They've had some trips as well. They've got to go to Auckland. They've been to Coffs Harbour. It's been everywhere, Perth, this year. As Najar feeding Meredith. This is good build-up from Macarthur, and they are rewarded. Matt Derbyshire.
Absolutely super play from Macarthur, and a goal they deserved. They've been playing some really good football in this game. A lot of attacks coming down here, the left-hand side. James Meredith being a massive part of that with Najar. Really good understanding, and that's a really good footballing goal. Lovely play from Macarthur.
14 for the season for their leading marksman, Matt Derbyshire. Streets ahead of their next best goal scorer, Shushayeta, with 3. That shows you how crucial he has been to the Bulls' success this season. What a signing Matt Derbyshire has been for the new boys.
And it looks as though that Michael Roos is going to replace young Charles Mwamba. But deserved equaliser for Macarthur.
There's Malik feeding Otta. Latchman is going to float it out to Economides. And we'll head downstairs to Jamie Harnwell. Jamie, were you happy with how Perth seemed to sort of go into their shell after scoring the opening goal and invite the pressure, and Macarthur took advantage of it?
Yeah, it's certainly different from what they've done previous games. They've been very high tempo, pressed high up the field. Obviously a huge run of games that they've had to contend with, but Richard Garcia's done a good job in rotating the players. But you're certainly right, Glory did a lot more defensive, sat back in. Macarthur with a huge amount of possession and just inviting trouble.
It's a good point. Maybe the build-up of fixtures did force that. They're ahead 1-0, trying to conserve energy.
You know what I think forced it? How well Macarthur have been playing. Played some wonderful football. I mentioned how they were getting through the press, passing the ball really well. Most accurate passing team in the whole league, and number one obviously with their possession, we know that. But I think it's been because of good play from Macarthur, and like I said, deservedly at 1-1. And just watching the see here, I think Michael Roos might have gone out to the right-hand side. He has. And Susieta has come into that position that Mwamba was in at number 10. You see him there.
Yeah, big loss, Charles Mombwa. So dynamic he's been for Macarthur. But Michael Roos, he's an exciting young player as well, the 18-year-old who finished his HSC last year.
Love watching him play.
Scored his first A-League goal back in round 18 against Melbourne City. We'd love to add to that tonight. Geria knocking it towards the run of Keogh. Malik. Casto, referee almost getting in his way. He's given a tug by Puyo, and the first card of the evening goes the way of the Frenchman.
That's a fair call too. Good refereeing. I like to see referees pull out the card for fouls like that, as tactical fouls that they do. Puts players on notice.
So Perth back with possession in a good area after that real pressure from Macarthur, which ended with the equaliser to Derbyshire. Castro trying to slide it in behind for Keogh.
Well read from Milligan. A good pass out to Najjar.
He's done well to tiptoe up the sideline. Moody Najjar, Jason Geria again able to snuff out the danger. Not the first time tonight he's done that, as Macarthur were building up dangerously.
Good play from Najjar. Considering he hasn't started many games as well, he looks in good shape. Him and James Meredith have done so well in this first half down this left-hand side of Macarthur. They keep getting out, but both sides.
He's been getting some good game time in the NPL New South Wales. Moody Najjar, 10 matches this season, a couple of goals, while he hasn't been starting in the A-League. And therefore he comes back into the A-League side and into the starting side and performs like he has tonight. Macarthur's team in the NPL New South Wales, the Northbridge Bulls this season. Sean Rowe.
Was unlucky, but another good portion to play from Macarthur. Macarthur's assistant manager, Ivan Jolic.
Exciting times ahead for Macarthur, that new state-of-the-art facility for their academy sides and potential future W League side at Camden. Castro now to Keogh. Well cut out by the Bulls defensively, and the flag is up for offside.
You can see Mark Milligan hitting his thighs there in frustration. They have to wait for that offside flag. Sieta coming very deep to pick up the ball.
Federici able to find a teammate, instead finding the line. Jamie Harnwell is pitch side for us. Jamie, have conditions settled down a little bit? The rain has eased off.
The rain has eased off for now. There's still a lot of people under cover just waiting for the next downpour to come. There's a little bit of wind swirling around, but really is, as you can see, the pitch is very fast as well. Ball moving quickly. There's a good night for the players.
Yeah, it has been a great match of football thus far. Castro, the goal from the penalty spot to get Perth started. And then Matt Derbyshire with his 14th of the season to lock us all up at one apiece. 3 points so vital for both sides. No free kick going the way of Fornaroli. Perth's leading scorer this year, and now pinched back by Geria. Fornaroli standing there like a statue. He knew he was offside. And now Macarthur go the other way through Najjar. And unfortunately for Najjar, it's ricocheted off him.
Bit of pinball there. Passing in small, short areas. Perth come away with it now.
Malik, Economides. And here's a free kick for Perth.
This is in a very dangerous area.
Chris Economides. He's only had a few openings thus far tonight.
This right-hand side for Perth, they're really overloading that side. Look at the average positions of the team. 6, sometimes 7 players on that half of the field. And when I say that half, you draw a line from the middle of the goal to the other middle of the goal on that side, on the right-hand side.
Fornaroli with the set piece. And he's going for goal and hitting the post. So close, Bruno Fornaroli, to putting Perth back in front.
And you can see that coming. So did Federici. Just had it covered.
Thundered into the post.
Outside of the post. But it was close enough. He's got the skill and the ability to do that. You know, normally you put about 1.5, maybe maximum 2 men past the post when you do it.
Here's Casto winning back the ball.
Yeah, when you're setting up a wall for a goalkeeper's perspective, someone like Fornaroli, I think you have to go for 2, 2.5 at least. You can do that.
Just the bend really got it ripping back there. So free kick here for Macarthur. And they're taking it quickly. Roos, not on the same page as Jean-Ro.
Say Rose and Roos 3 times quick. That's the joke.
Latchman out of Economides. So 3 goals last season, and he's already scored 4 this campaign. Those 4 coming in his last 5. Gives away the ball there, though. Is he working his way into Socceroos' calculations? Chris Economides. Gee, he can hit a ball. Hopefully we get to see that tonight as Roos cut off by Latchman.
Super play from Latchman. Didn't take the bait that was offered by Roos for the dummies. Stayed on his feet. Really good defending.
Castro looking up. Finding Timmins short, who then distributes out to Economides. Sees the pace down the sideline.
Such an important period of each game. First 10 minutes, last 10 minutes of each half. Plus the 10 minutes after a goal was scored.
Malik. Timmins. Timmins turning and sliding in. Andy Keogh and Adam Federici with a fantastic save. He chuckles because the flag comes up late, but it doesn't matter because that is an outstanding save regardless.
Type of saves that win you games, win you points, win you championships or cups, whatever. But super run once again from Keogh, who's red hot. Right call, lovely ball as well played through, but that is a super save. Really good passage of play. And this is why, regardless of the dominance that you have with possession, or territory for that matter, you've got to be so careful of this Perth team as they've got so many weapons that can hurt you at any time.
How about that ball through from Cal Timmins?
Super ball.
And you can see why he's started 5 straight matches now. The 21-year-old who grew up in Birmingham, played his youth football with Birmingham City before making the move to Australia.
There's the next Aston Villa player. Not overwhelmed by that. I'll give him the benefit of that.
Economides. Now I'm getting the death stare from Bozza. If looks could kill, you'd be calling the rest of the game, Bozza.
I'll tell you what did kill, that pass from him. Absolutely superb pass. Kia didn't do much wrong. It's just a fabulous save.
Roos turning Otter inside and out off the shoulder of Latchman. And the Curaçao international is able to clear it away. Darryl Latchman. Meredith. The last season with Tony Popovich's Perth Glory.
It's been a wonderful battle in the first half, Najjar and Geria.
Great action, hasn't it, this first half? Moody Najjar has been a big part of that down the left for Macarthur. Garcia looking for his 10th win tonight as an A-League head coach. Castro's goal put them in front early, but Matt Derbyshire pegging them back to make it 1-1 as we head towards half-time. Maybe a last-minute opportunity here for Perth Glory. Castro curling it, cut out by Puyo. Now Timmins, Geria. Economides deciding against delivering. And now Malik. Economides goes to ground.
It was okay there.
He caught one across the face. We might have to have a look back at that. There's 3 minutes of additional time, so plenty of it.
Good opportunity, but for Economides up against Najjar to push it past him and go. Didn't take advantage of it.
Castro in a world of his own. Awarded the advantage by Ben Abraham. Economides now, pass and run, finding Castro. Fornaroli came so close moments ago, hitting the post with that free kick. As Malik sees the run of Otter, bending across goal, no one there.
What an opportunity that was. Super pass from Malik. And Otter would be disappointed. Didn't put that in the better area. Look at that pass. Slide rule.
Well, you look at Economides there on the penalty spot.
And also Andy Keogh would be a little bit disappointed. I thought his run was a little bit too in front of the near post. That was a wonderful opportunity. Finishing the half very well here, Perth.
Yeah, since the equaliser, it's been Perth who have asked the more questions. Economides with Najjar backtracking. Now Meredith keeping a watchful eye over his former teammate Economides onto the head there of Shushnia.
Economides does excellent there. It just goes to show you don't have to beat a player. I didn't need that half yard to get that cross in.
Latchman taking on Roos. Big Darryl still going. Keogh couldn't get his boot around it. What a chance there created by Darryl Latchman all the way from the back.
Macarthur once again looking for that flag. Would have been interesting to see if he had scored, whether the flag would have gone up.
Well, they don't want half-time to come. Perth Glory at the moment. Roos.
Come back again, once again by Macarthur. Otter well back. Yep, offside a little bit.
His timing's just been off on a few occasions tonight, Andy Keogh, but only just.
Yeah, only needs one.
And now Puyo. Says, well, there's just seconds left in the half. Why not have a strike? Just the 2 goals this season. And 2 goals it was in the first half between these two sides. And it was Diego Castro from the penalty spot after Andy Keogh won it questionably. But there was no question about Diego Castro's finish. And then Matt Derbyshire scored the equaliser for Macarthur, which means at half-time it's Perth Glory 1, Macarthur FC 1.